Welcome, everybody, to another podcast episode of the Limitless Podcast. I am Larissa, your host, and today we're going to talk about something that we all know or don't know. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to talk about the fact that we are our biggest enemy. Like nobody else, not our neighbors hating on us, or I don't know, our friends not supporting us, or our partners not supporting us, or it's somebody else. Like, those are really shitty situations to deal with, honestly. But when you think about it, we are our biggest enemy because our mind sucks in everything from each direction, and then it compiles into a whole like PDF presentation to ourselves to be like, you know what, see, I told you that you fucking suck. See, blah 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 is not supporting you, blah 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 and blah 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 blah. And like everything is always just happening in our heads. It's not happening outside. I mean, it kind of is, but like most, if not like 99% of the time, shit is going down in on our heads. Wow, that was a little stutter. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like push through filming episodes and stuff. But yeah, it's just funny because in our heads everything is just happening. It's like the world is falling apart, shit is going down in our heads, but outside is just all still and like calm and everything. You could be like in a really you could be in a really shitty situation where you're not living in the best environment and in the best, whatever, like not being surrounded by the best people. I totally get it. But in the fucking end, we are like the worst of the worst when it comes to, how like the way we talk to ourselves, what we think about, what we feel about. Like a lot of times there's just so much negativity going in inside of us, like so much negative talk, so many negative emotions that we feel as an aftermath after like shit talking ourselves, because we listen to that inner voice that, as a lot of people also call it in the spiritual community, the ego, or as also you could say that it's like that inner wounded child that is trying to work with the knowledge that they had at that time when they developed inside of us. So it's just that inner voice is just the fucking worst, and it's not helping us because it just adds to us then becoming the worst enemy possible. Not the outside, not everything like the bear chasing us down the fucking street. I hope this doesn't happen to you though. But like it's us. We're sitting there like just punching ourselves down so hard. That inner voice telling us what we cannot do, what we cannot reach, how we shouldn't do this, how we shouldn't ask this person out, how we shouldn't, whatever it is. When you think about it, it's not anybody else that is, holding us back, but us. Like you can think of so many situations, how many situations you have experienced where you just held yourself back so much, and how you didn't believe in yourself, and how you didn't go after what you wanted because of fear. And there's so many levels that goes and comes to this situation of us being our biggest enemy to ourselves. Fear, feeling like, oh my god, I cannot do this because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose it, I'm gonna fuck up. And then there's, oh, holding ourselves back because we're like, also again connected to fear, but almost like, I just don't want to experience, for example, past experiences and whatever. I just, I fucked up once, like let's just stay in my bubble. And there could be also like, I don't know, I feel like the fear is the biggest factor that affects us when it comes to our shit talking to ourselves and what the inner voice is being triggered by, to be quite honest. Like the biggest thing that is trigger factor is definitely fear. You know, it's because, and also like past experiences. If you're like, I want to reach this goal, but I have failed with this, or I haven't gone for this goal or tried for this, but why would I go for this if I, do you know what I mean? It's like a connection. It's every experience or the things that we're experiencing now is like a slight connection to other things. It is a connection to other things from our past, but we decide how things are gonna be in the moment. Like, do we like just cut it off, or do we keep repeating like cycles and habits over and over and over again? You know, but yeah, it's crazy to think that we're afraid of so many things on the outside, of so many things that we're trying to get from other people, and we think that it's such a motherfucking big deal, but then in the end the biggest shit is in front of our own like fucking door, in front of us, which is us. It's, it's us, like it's, looking into the mirror, like seeing ourselves and being like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, just don't, just like, you're a fucking loser. Like, why the fuck? Like, you like see like how your situation with love was. Why would you do this again? Or why would you go after this dream? Like, let's be honest, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough this, you don't have enough. Why would you do this to yourself? you know? And then you think about it, and it's like, wow, it's not like all the enemies that we think we haven't, like we have on our outside that is the worst, but it's us. And realizing that fact is that is the moment when we truly like take control of our lives, where we try to just mute that inner voice. It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, and a lot of work to do that. Like an easy way of trying to just mute that inner voice is like you give it a name, and it's the best way to give it like a childlike sounding name. So whenever like your inner voice is trying to fucking speak up and like just put you down, just be like, oh my god, whatever. I named my inner voice Rosie. It sounds like a little baby, like a little baby girl. So whenever I had moments where Rosie was speaking up, I was just like, fuck, Rosie, shut up, this is not the right moment. And you could think like, oh my god, I'm giving my inner voice a name. Am I going crazy? Are you going crazy, Larissa? No, trust me, that technique is so freaking effective. Please at least try it a few times. I'm not saying like, oh, okay, the third time and then you just leave it. Like, keep on trying this, because man, it's gonna help. Because that inner voice at some point just it's almost like you just turned on the mute button, or you just pressed that mute button, or just turned down the volume, you know, uh, to like zero. It's crazy. Like I said, um there's always work to be done on our mental health. People think that you do it once and it's like forever done, and let me tell you, it is not. There is so much work to be done on our mental health, and if you want to, um sit in front of yourself and fix the situation of you being your biggest enemy, there's so much work and time that will go into this, but as long as you're willing to work on this, you can do this. You know, you maybe are having this realization right now where you're like, oh my God, Larissa, Jesus, I haven't realized that I've been sabotaging myself for the longest time, that I've been holding myself so much, like holding myself back so much until I listen to this. And there's nothing wrong with having this realization. Don't think it's too late. Don't think that you cannot do anything, or it's just, like I said, too late to do anything, because It's not too late. You can change the situation and you can turn the situation around 100%. Again, as long as you're willing to work on it and just, um, be aware of your thoughts and thought patterns and be aware of how you talk to yourself and just again work on like muting that inner voice of yours because it's literally not gonna help you. Like if you are that advanced when it comes to mental health or like spirituality or manifesting or whatever, you can use that inner voice if you want to. I'm not saying that this is a must. You can use it to your advantage to see where you have to work on things, but I would just advise to just mute that and just, go as life, goes and just work on things one by one, day by day, little step by little step. The only thing that matters is, like I said, that you're aware of where you are with yourself, of what you've been doing, or how you have been sabotaging yourself until this point. That's all that freaking matters, you know? Nothing else. But again, it's so fascinating how, it's not the outside that is the big scary monster, but it is ourself. It is us that is scaring ourselves away from our goals and our dreams and things we want to achieve and things we want to change. Like for example, I was talking about comfort zone in one of my podcast episodes. And again, we are the enemy that is holding ourselves back from like getting out of the comfort zone to make progress and to continue in life and to evolve and level up. It's us. Obviously, there's people that can take an effect to that extent on the outside, like our partners or maybe our parents being like, you don't need to move out, or you don't need to move to another state, or you don't need to move out of country, or you don't need to do this right now. Just chill and relax and whatever it is, it can also take an effect, but in the end, our mind is the one that and us, not that our mind is controlling us, but we are controlling our minds. We have this steering wheel in our hands, not our mind controlling us. We should never be on autopilot and let our mind control us. Never ever. I whenever I talk about certain topics, I always say when you and your life is on autopilot, it's game over. It's motherfucking game over because you are not taking control of things. You are not filtering out your thoughts. You are not putting the most work into things and onto your mental health or even on your goals. You're just going with the flow. You're just going with what you're used to and not paying the most attention. You're not being aware of things or taking accountability for the things you have done or not done. You know, like I said, there are so many more levels to this than you can even see. There's so many more facets that you could open up and just be like, oh god, wow, there's so many more deeper levels. Like people don't realize, like so many people don't realize how many more deeper levels there is to like even achieving goals and dreams and like even like your mental health. Like for example, like your subconscious takes so much of the deep end of your mind, your soul, and who you truly are. Not like you know the conscious. That is just like it's almost like the water, the top of the water that you see. There's so much more work that has to be done on the subconscious and on the almost unconscious. There like a lot of our fears and worries and everything that sabotages us in a lot of way is in our subconscious. And like I said, we just have to become aware of it. We have to take control of it in the moment when we become aware of it and then just steer the wheel in the other direction. That's all you gotta do. But just be aware that you're the one holding yourself back, not everybody else or whatever. Like you can be, you can take effect from other people because you listen to them or whatever else it is. But in the end, you are the one holding the steering wheel to your own life. You are the one that is choosing to do things or, like making decisions or whatever it is. It's you. So if things are not the way you want them to be in your life, or if things are not the way you want them to be when it comes to your goals and dreams, I'm sorry to say this. I hope you take this in the most loving way possible, but it's your fault. It's your fault in the end because it's you and your own life. It's your life. And you can turn this around at any point in time. You can turn this around now. Obviously, you can start it up. I'm not saying, like, again, I'm mentioning this, you know, Rome wasn't built overnight, but you can start now. The only thing that matters is that you start and do this. You can turn this all around and you can become your biggest cheerleader to yourself and to your own life. You don't need anybody to cheer you on, like any like of your friends or anything from the outside. You only need yourself and your own support and your own push and everything from you. You don't need any guidance but your own that you need to listen to. There's so much in ourselves and in our mind and the inner guidance that we have, and everything that we need is in us. And even the love that we want and we need is in us. Everything is inside of us. So don't panic. Don't panic if you've realized that you have done so much worse than good for yourself, because you can turn this around now. Just start. Just realize, just be honest with yourself, just take accountability and start the changes. Plan out things, make a list of things that you want to work on or things you want to start or the habits you want to start. And that's all that matters. That's all. And I believe and I know that you can do this, guys. We have all been here so many freaking times, including myself. Don't think that I'm perfect because I'm not. I'm just like, the topics I've been talking about is things I've been like working through and I have worked through, and things that I am working on right now, or, things that were really significant, like pillars in my life that I had to work through and process through and stuff like that. I'm not just pulling things out of my ass, trying to be a smart ass, trying to be like, oh my God, Larissa, the all knowing. I'm not all knowing. I don't know everything. I still have so much to learn and so many things to do and so many things to see. I am a imperfect human being as everybody else. But I'm willing to work on myself, on my life, on my goals and dreams, and on my relationships. I'm willing to improve and level up and expand my knowledge and, my thinking and everything, you know, and that's all that matters. And you can do the same, guys. I believe in you. I honestly believe in you guys. Okay. Just don't take this too hard. Like, just, I hope you took it the right way as I was trying to, you know, um, translate this message to you all. Okay. I love you guys all so freaking much. I hope this helped somehow. And I hope that this will find you well. I am sending lots of positive energy and lots of hugs and love your way. And I will see you in the next episode. I love you all so freaking much. Bye. Mwah.